Good morning, students. This is class 9th, subject science, chapter number 6, that is tissues. It's your lecture number 3. Topics to be discussed in today's lecture are animal tissue. Now, under this animal tissue, I would be discussing epithelial tissue and its types, connective tissue and its types. So, let's start with animal tissue. Now, in the previous lecture, what we discussed? We discussed about plant tissue and its classification. So, today we are starting with our next topic, that is animal tissue. Okay, now based on the functions they perform, the animal tissues, they are classified into few categories. Okay, now what are those four types of tissues? Number one is epithelial tissue. Number two is connective tissue. Number three is muscular tissue. And number four is nervous tissue. So these four types of tissues have been classified under animal tissue. The first type now we will study each in detail one by one. Okay. What is epithelial tissue? It is the covering or the protective tissues in the animal body. Okay. And there is an animal body. In the animal body, all the covering or all the protective tissue, they come under the category of epithelial tissue. Okay. Now this epithelial tissue, it covers most of the organs as well as cavities which is present within the body. Okay. So all the organs and the cavities which are present in our body, they are covered by epithelial tissue. For example, skin. Our skin is made up of epithelial tissue. Second example we can take of lining of the mouth or lining of blood vessels or alveoli of the lungs or the kidney tubules. So these all, they are made up of epithelial tissue. So that's why it is the covering or the protective tissue in the animal body. Okay. Now, how are the cells arranged in epithelial tissue? You know, tissue is made up of cells, right? So these cells of this tissue, they are tightly packed. Means all the cells, they are tightly packed. There is no intercellular space present among the cells. And as a result, they form a continuous sheet. Why? Because there is no intercellular space present. They are tightly packed. They are compactly arranged. So as a result, they are forming a continuous sheet. Okay. Now what is the function of this epithelial tissue? This epithelial tissue, it plays a very important role in regulating the exchange of materials within the body and external environment and also different parts of the body. Means the materials, they are exchanged with the help of epithelial tissue from inside the body to the outside the external environment or from the external environment to the inside of the body. So which tissue is involved in exchange of the materials? It is epithelial tissue. Okay. So this was about epithelial tissue, the first category of animal tissue. Now this epithelial again tissue classified into four categories. Okay. So what are the types of epithelial tissue? There are basically four types of epithelial tissue. What are those four types? Number one is squamous epithelial tissue. Number two is stratified epithelial tissue. Number three is columnar epithelial tissue. And number four is cuboidal epithelial tissue. So these are the four types of epithelial tissue. Now what is squamous tissue? You can see from the diagram, the cells of this tissue, they are thin. They are very thin as well as they are flat. And they are arranged end to end like the tiles on the floor. Okay. You can see at your home how your tiles are arranged at your home. Right. They are arranged end to end. So in the similar way, the cells of the tissue, they are also arranged in end to end like the tiles on the floor. And what is the shape of these cells? The cells are thin as well as flat in nature. You can see from the diagram, the cells are thin as well as flat. And these epithelial cells, the cells of this tissue, they are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear in the skin. So, the layers are arranged. Why? Because it helps in preventing wearing and tearing of the skin. I told you skin is the example where the epithelial tissue is present. That's why skin is written here. Okay. So, what are the examples of the squamous epithelial tissue? Means where this squamous epithelial tissue is found, it forms skin, lining of the cavities of mouth, esophagus. Esophagus means food pipe. So these all, they are made up of squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, so you can see the diagram. They are arranged like tiles on the floor and the cells are flat in shape. And you have to learn examples as well. Just learn one or two examples. So this was about squamous epithelium tissue. You can see the broad picture. The cells are so thin and they are arranged end to end like it is arranged the tiles on the floor. So this is squamous epithelial tissue. Now next category comes stratified epithelial tissue. The second type of epithelial tissue. Now what is this? I discussed about squamous epithelium right now. Okay. Now this squamous epithelium, it is arranged in layers, one above the another layer. So that layer, it gives rise to stratified epithelium tissue. So I have written the first point. It consists of squamous epithelial arranged in layers. Okay. This is the first layer. You can see the diagram. This is the first layer of squamous epithelium. Above this there is another layer of squamous epithelium and above this another layer of squamous epithelium. So means squamous epithelium, they are arranged in layers one above the another. So this arrangement of the squamous epithelium, it gives rise to stratified epithelium tissue, the second type. Okay. Now what is the example? Same, it forms the surface of skin. Okay. So this is the diagram. You can draw squamous epithelium first, then again draw squamous epithelium one above the another. That will be stratified epithelium tissue. It is very easy. Just remember the diagrams. Third type is columnar epithelial tissue. Columnar. You can see what the name indicates. Column means pillar-like structure. See the structure, the diagram. The cells of this tissue, they are arranged in pillars, like pillar-like structure. Okay, they are forming a pillar-like structure, a column-like structure. So this is columnar epithelium tissue. Okay, now where it is present? It forms lining of the stomach. Our stomach lining, it is made up of columnar epithelium tissue. Plus, it also forms small intestine, large intestine, etc. Okay, so this is columnar epithelium, pillar-like structure, the third type of epithelial tissue. Now, under this category, there are ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. Okay, in some of the books, they have classified in another categories like 4 of epithelium and 2 of these ciliated and glandular epithelium. So total give rise to 6 types. So one and the same thing, it generally comes under columnar epithelium, but if you classify a separate category, it hardly matters. Okay, so it's your wish. Now what is ciliated epithelium? Ciliated, the name indicates cilia. Cilia, you might have remembered this word in biology, you have studied. Cilia means thread-like structures. Okay, so what is ciliated epithelium? This epithelium, it is threads like structure which are called as cilia. And what is the function of this? It helps in absorption. Okay, so this was about ciliated epithelium tissue. And the next is glandular epithelium tissue. This type of tissue, it secretes oil, sweat, enzymes and hormones. Okay, so this is glandular epithelium tissue. Okay, it is also present in small intestine, large intestine that I told you right now. Okay, so this was about columnar epithelium, pillar-like structure, and the two subcategories, ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. Okay, so you can see the broad picture of columnar epithelium. A pillar-like structure is formed. Okay, so this is columnar epithelium tissue, the third type of epithelial tissue. Okay, now the fourth type of epithelial tissue is cuboidal epithelial tissue or cuboidal epithelium. One and the same thing. Cuboidal. The name indicates cube. So the cells of this tissue, they are which in shape? They are cube-like structure. The shape is cube-like. Okay. So the cells of this tissue, they are cube in shape. Where it is found? It is found in kidney and in salivary glands. And what is the function? It helps in providing mechanical support. Okay, they are involved in providing mechanical support to the body. So you can see from the diagram, a diagram has been shown. This is of cuboidal epithelium tissue, where the cells of the tissue, they are cube in shape. The cells are cube-like structure. Okay, so this is cuboidal epithelium tissue. And what is the function? Providing mechanical support. You can see the broad picture now. This is cube-like cells. So these cube-like cells, they are forming tissue. Which tissue? Cuboidal epithelium tissue. Okay, so these were the four categories. Number 1, squamous. Number 2, stratified. Number 3, columnar. Number 4, cuboidal. Very easy. Just learn one example. So these were the four types of epithelium tissue. Now the second category of animal tissue. The first category was epithelium tissue. The first was epithelial tissue, under which we studied four categories. Now the second category is connective tissue. This is the second type of animal tissue. Now let's study connective tissue. What do you mean by connective tissue? The cells of this tissue, they are loosely packed. Means there is very large intercellular space present among the cells. In case of epithelium, the cells were tightly packed. Very less intercellular space or negligible intercellular space was present. But in case of connective tissue, they are loosely packed. So as a result, there is large intercellular space present. Okay. Now again, the connective tissue is again classified into four categories. Epithelium was also classified into four. Similarly, connective is also classified into four categories. So what are the types of connective tissue? Basically, there are four types of connective tissue. Number 1 is areolar connective tissue. Number 2, adipose connective tissue. Number 3, skeletal connective tissue. And number 4, fluid connective tissue. So these are the four types of connective tissue under animal tissue, and we will be studying each in detail one by one. Now the first type of connective tissue is areolar connective tissue. Okay, let me tell you the another name of areolar connective tissue. It is also called as packaging tissue. Now the question arises, why? Because it fills space inside the organs. Okay, this tissue is responsible for filling the space inside the organ. If you consider any organ and there is space inside that, Okay, so that space, it is filled with the help of areolar connective tissue. So that's why, what is the other name of areolar connective tissue? It is also called as packaging connective tissue or packaging tissue. It can come in 1 mark. You can note down in your notebook also, highlight this. Now where this tissue is found? It is found between the skin. It is filling the space between the skin. Na? So that's why the example is between the skin, muscles, the space is filled between the muscles. So that is areolar connective tissue. Next is around blood vessels, nerve cells and in the bone marrow. So the space is filled inside them with the help of areolar connective tissue. So these are the examples where this connective tissue is found. Okay. So now this areolar connective tissue is classified or divided into two categories, that is tendons and ligaments. Now what is tendon and what is ligament? You might have studied this topic when you were in 6th standard. Okay, so that is same topic, tendons and ligaments. Tendon. Tendon is that tissue which connects muscles to bones. It is connecting muscles to bones. And ligament is that tissue which is connecting one bone to the another bone. Okay, means the two bones, they are connected to each other with the help of which tissue? With the help of ligament. This was the first difference. Second difference, you can write that tendon is tough and it is non-elastic. It is connecting muscles to bones. So it is non-elastic in nature. Elasticity is not there. Plus it is tough. And ligament, it is elastic in nature but it is strong. Okay, that's why it is connecting one bone to another bone. Okay, so this was about tendons and ligaments. Okay, generally differences is asked, write the differences between tendons and ligaments. So you can write down easily. But students, keep one thing in mind, please do not get confused which is connecting muscles to bones and which is connecting bone to another bone. Just remember, tendon is connecting muscles and bones and ligament is connecting bones, one bone to another bone. Okay, so this was tendons and ligaments which were coming under the category of areolar connective tissue. Now second type of connective tissue is adipose connective tissue. Now students, keep one thing in mind, wherever this word adipose comes, it is related to fat. Okay, so what is adipose connective tissue? It is a fat storing connective tissue, means this tissue, it is storing fat. Okay, now second point is it is acting as insulator and it is preventing loss of heat from the body. Since it is made up of fat, right, so therefore it is preventing the loss of heat from the body by acting as an insulator. This is the function of adipose tissue. Now where this tissue is found? It is found below the skin, around the heart, brain and below the eyeballs. Eyeball, it is present inside the eye. So below the eyeball, this tissue, adipose tissue is found, which is responsible for storing fat. Okay, so this was about second type of connective tissue, that is adipose connective tissue, that is related to fat storage. Now the third type of connective tissue is skeletal connective tissue, means it is related to a skeletal system, right? Now you know well about the skeletal system, you know about the bones and cartilage. So this skeletal tissue is classified, or we can say it is divided into two categories, bones and cartilage. So what are bones and what are cartilage? Bone is hard and tough. Whenever you touch any part of your body, it feels hard, right? Suppose you are touching your hand or your legs. It is hard and tough. Why? Because their bones are present. And if you touch your ear, the lower part of your ear, it is very soft. Why? Because their bone is not present. What is present? There it is cartilage. Okay. The tip of the nose. The tip of the nose. It is made up of bone or cartilage? It is cartilage. You can touch your tip of nose. It is very soft. So it is cartilage. So bone is hard and tough. Cartilage is soft. Bone, it is made up of calcium and phosphorus. These are the two minerals we can say which are making up the bones. And cartilage, it is made up of proteins and sugar. Okay, this is the second difference. Third difference is that bones, they have rich blood supply. Okay, they have the blood supply rich. And cartilage, they do not possess rich blood supply. Okay, so this was the difference between bones and cartilage. What are the examples of bone? Your hand, your leg. Okay, so these are the examples of bone. And cartilage, what are the examples? Lower part of your ear and tip of nose. So these are the examples of bone and cartilage. Generally, one question is asked, write the difference between bone and cartilage. So now you can write down easily. So this is the third type of connective tissue, that is skeletal tissue. Now the last type of connective tissue is fluid connective tissue. This fluid connective tissue, it is divided into blood and lymph. Blood is an example of fluid connective tissue. So what is blood? You know well, it is red in color, right? So what is blood? Blood has a fluid matrix which is called as plasma. Matrix means the fluid which is present or which is filled inside that part. Okay, so blood has a fluid filled or the fluid matrix which is called as plasma. In that fluid or in that plasma, what are present? RBCs, WBCs, platelets. So these are suspended, means they are present in the plasma of the blood. Okay, so what is RBC? RBC means red blood cells. WBC means white blood corpuscles or white blood cells. And platelets, you know the function of platelets, they are involved in clotting of the blood. Okay, so these things, they are suspended inside the plasma of the blood. Along with these things, it also contains proteins, salt and hormones. Okay, so this is the constituent of blood. Now this blood, it is a fluid connective tissue. Okay, now blood flows, it helps in transporting of gases, digested food, hormones and waste materials to the different parts of the body, right? So this is what you can write the function of the blood: transport of the gases, hormones, waste materials, digested food. They are transported to the different parts of the body. Okay. So this is about fluid connective tissue. Lymph, about lymph, there is not much in your syllabus. So just you write down the name, that under fluid connective tissue, blood and lymph, they come, and write about blood in detail. Okay. So these were the types of connective tissue. So this animal tissue, I am giving you a classification again. Animal tissue is classified into 4 categories: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. Now the epithelial connective tissue, we have done the classification: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular. And under connective tissue we studied areolar, adipose, skeletal and fluid. Okay, so 2 types we studied today. The remaining 2 types we will be studying tomorrow. So this ends for today's lecture. What is your homework? Your homework is you have to answer the following questions. Question number 1 is what are the functions of areolar tissue? Question number 2 is name the following. A. Tissue that forms the inner lining of a mouth. Second, tissue that connects muscles to bones in humans. Third, tissue that transports food in plants. Fourth, tissue that stores fat in our body. Fifth, connective tissue with a fluid matrix. So you have to name that tissue. And third question is identify the type of tissue in the following. Skin, bark of tree, bone, lining of kidney tubule, vascular bundles. Now I would be discussing the homework solutions of lecture number 2. So you can match and correct your answers there itself. Question number 1 was what are the constituents of phloem? The answer is the constituents of phloem are sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Direct question it is. Question number 2 was how many types of elements together make up the xylem tissue? Name them. Answer is the xylem is made up of 4 elements. And what are these? Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Question number 3 was how are simple tissues different from complex tissue in plants? Answer. Simple tissues are made up of one type of cells which coordinate to perform a common function, and complex tissues are made up of more than one type of cells, and all these coordinate to perform a common function. Question number 4 was what are the functions of stomata? Answer. The functions of stomata are transpiration and exchange of gases. Question number 5 was what is the role of epidermis in plants? Answer. Cells of the epidermis, they form a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. It protects all the parts of the plants. Question number 6 was how does the cork act as a protective tissue? Answer. Cork act as a protective tissue because its cells are dead and compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. They have deposition of suberin on the walls that make them impervious to gases and water. Question number 7 was complete the following table. This was a direct question. You have to just write down the classification of the permanent tissue. So answer is A is parenchyma, B is sclerenchyma, C is phloem. Okay, so these were the answers of your questions. So students, please keep learning side by side. Do not forget to learn the things because there are various classifications in this chapter. Thank you, class.